everyone, it's Laurie from Cook Scrap Craft, and I've got a process video for you today. This is a 2-pager that I'm making using the February paper issues page kit, as well as day 6 of last month's 30 Days of Sketches sketch with Christy's Beautiful Life. I believe this sketch was from Lottie Loves Paper, and you can see the sketch at the bottom of your screen. I'm keeping it up just so you can kind of get an idea of why I'm doing what I'm doing, how I'm following or not following the sketch. So I decided I had these 4 photos. 2 I printed in 4x6 size, and then 2 I printed in 3x4 size. And when I saw this sketch, I kind of thought it might be perfect. My photos are not horizontal. I have all vertical photos, but I'm going to make it work. It's going to be okay. So I'm deciding that since the left-hand side of the sketch has 3 elements, the big photo and then 2 small photos, I'm going to do my big photo, one of the small photos, and then I'm going to use one of the 3x4 cut-aparts from that Simple Stories paper. And this page kit was from February at Paper Issues. I don't know if they still have any in stock, but I do know that they have released a new kit, and so definitely go check that out. Because they always put together some really nice stuff. And then they also, they sell other scrapbook supplies and other cool things there too. It's not a subscription or anything. It's just a one-off. You just, buy the kit if you want it. They have page kits. Sometimes they do monthly kits that are a little bit bigger. And I used to be on the design team. There's no incentive for me now to tell you to go shop at Paper Issues, but I just enjoy them. And to me, they're based out of Missouri, so to me they're like a local scrapbook store because that's where I am originally from. So there are what look to be paper strips going along kind of like the bottom part of the sketch. And so I'm going to take all of the pattern paper that is in this kit, and I'm going to cut it into paper strips, basically. So I'm cutting, 2 and 2 because I need to have some that are for the first page on the left-hand side, and then I need to have the equal sizes going across the page onto the right-hand side. And even if I measure something and then I'm going to go back and cut it, like I think the top one is like 2 inches, then there might be like a 1 inch, and then the bottom one is 2.5. I knew I was going to forget what the measurements were if I did the first page, if I cut for the first page and then went back and cut for the second page. So I just do all my cutting. I do all my cutting right at the beginning, and then I just set those other papers aside. So I've stacked those pattern papers. I really like all of them. I am going to ink the edges with my black Hampton Art ink, but now I need to figure out the placement of some embellishments. The sketch, you can tell, has some like big circle things going on behind it, probably intentioned for mixed media or something. I'm not really going to do much mixed media. I will come in with some splatters toward the end because that's what I like to do. But I'm going to keep this a pretty straightforward, basic 2-page layout. That's more for me because sometimes I get a little anxious about 2-page layouts and figuring out the best placement of embellishments and things like that. For some reason, single pages are so much easier for me. So anytime I do a 2-page, I like to have a sketch to sort of help me along. I did have this sketch up while I was working on the layout, but I didn't really refer to it that much. Actually, I was looking more at other people's scrapbook process videos on YouTube. I was watching those that's what I like to do while I scrapbook. I watch other people's videos. So I didn't really have this sketch open and visible to me throughout the whole time. And I've said this before in another video that I recently did. If you're working on a sketch and you're concerned that you're going to feel too tied down to the way the sketch looks and trying to get everything to be totally exact, then don't look at the sketch throughout your process. Give it a good once over just to get started, and then put it away. Close out the browser, turn off, shut down, close your Pinterest, whatever, wherever you've got the sketch. Just don't put it away. Don't look at it. That way you have an idea of the way things should be, or the general idea behind the placement of everything, but then you can kind of just go ahead and do your own thing. So I've got my 4x6 photo there that's layered, sticking it on top of those patterned paper strips. Now I'm going to take some adhesive foam strips that I actually got from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to pop up that 3x4 card to give this a little bit of dimension. I'm going to be doing a lot of popping up on this layout, actually. And I think that's a great way, especially when you've got embellishments. I think that's a great way to kind of take a seemingly normal flat embellishment and elevate it in more ways than one. So I kept the 3x4 photo flat, and you can see that the 3x4 card is actually overlapping the photo. I was trying to create something that was sort of, yeah, that's sort of like, sort of. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But you can see in the original sketch that the two 3x4 elements are not in line. And so I still wanted to have that in my page as well. So I just kind of moved the 3x4 card over a little bit. And then the 3x4 photo is kind of like underneath it, but sort of at an offset. They're not completely lined up. So I've added a couple more embellishments. There's an Ellie Studio journaling spot there that I put coming up from behind the photo on the right-hand side. I am going to go back and do my journaling. I didn't do it in this video. I needed to go back and look up to see what the date was for these photos, because I think we did these actually in January, not February. Even though these are photos of us decorating a Valentine's Day gingerbread house. There was a kit that you could get at Target, and I got it for free. So we tested it out, and I have to say, working with that frosting was a pain in the booty. That was hard. The rest of it was pretty easy, and the house stayed together really, really well until my kid decided she was going to take a big bite out of the roof and eat it. But yeah, it was a fun experience, and I'm sure they'll have these houses again next year. So now I'm adding a couple other little embellishments, like in the hearts, that phrase that says "love you lots," that paper strip that has like the scallops, the Ellie Studio journaling tag. Those were all part of this kit. The car up at the top, the little smiley face heart at the top, again, part of the kit. It came with some really cool things, and I think I showed them to you in my February haul video, or maybe it was the March haul video. I don't remember. Go back and look. Maybe I'll link both of them in the description box below if I can remember. I am going to add a couple elements that were from my March Best of Both Worlds kit. I've got some Doodlebug heart stickers, enamel hearts that I'm going to incorporate into this, just because I wanted there to be a little bit of something else, again, with more like dimension and at different sizes. I wanted things that were a little bit smaller. So I am going to add a couple of those in as well. And that's pretty much going to be the first side of this page. I don't know about you guys when you do 2-page layouts, if you do both sides kind of at the same time. I've always been a scrapbooker who works on the left-hand side first and then goes over and does the right-hand side. I've never tried to like do 2 sides at once. Maybe I should try that though. Maybe that would alleviate some of the stress that I feel when I'm going to do 2-page layouts and I'm trying to figure out like, embellishment placement and things like that. Maybe I should try doing both sides at once. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you do. So as you can see, the left-hand side is done. I used some Mermaid Lagoon Tim Holtz Distress Oxide Spray to do a couple of splatters. And I chose that color primarily because it was already out on my desk, because I'd been using it with the March Best of Both Worlds kit, but also because there is some blue in this collection. Granted, it's more like a navy blue, a little bit of like a teal. There is some light blue, actually, a little bit of sky blue as I'm looking at this layout. So I thought that the blue would be a nice contrast with all of that, with all the pink, especially because the background is pink instead of doing a white background. If I'd done a white background, maybe I would have chosen a different color, or maybe I would have done like a mishmash of 2 colors. I don't know. We'll never know now, will we? Because I've already done this. So now I'm doing the embellishments on the second side. So the second side has two 3x4 photos. Again, not lined up, a little bit offset. Since I had a 4x6 and a 3x4, I just decided to kind of line them up in a similar orientation as what's on the other side. But obviously I'm not using a 3x4 cut apart at all, but they are, you know, a little offset. They're not lined up. And I'm going to bring that little paper strip, which is also part of the kit, into the mix here, because I had like a paper strip on the other side, so I thought I would do a paper strip on this side as well. Some of the embellishments on this side, that little teal heart that looks like a speech square. It's not really a speech bubble. That was from an Ellie Studio Valentine's Day chipboard sticker set that I purchased separately as part of my March Best of Both Worlds kit. I did get that also from Paper Issues though, and I thought the color worked really well, and I'm trying to like go through the rest of my March kit and, you know, really get all of the bits and pieces all finished up. I have a bunch of scrap paper left over, so I think I'm going to just do like take a white piece of cardstock and do a bunch of like pattern paper layering and just make a totally random layout for, you know, a random photo or something. So I'm looking forward to that. And if you're looking forward to that, then you might want to hit subscribe if you haven't already, because you don't want to miss out when I do another process video. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back to the channel. I love having you here. Say hello down in the comments. And throughout this whole thing, if you have any questions about the products that I'm using, the techniques that I'm using, let me know and I will definitely respond to you. I want this to be a helpful video. I want this to be inspiring, and I also want you to be able to ask questions, and hopefully I can, you know, like help you out with stuff. So that's what this whole channel is all about, and that's why I encourage you to subscribe so we can, you know, chat together in this community. Last thing I'm going to do here is do my splatters on the other side, and it's a good thing this video is almost over with because I need to sneeze, actually. I'm holding it in. There are going to be some close-up photos so you can get a little bit more, well, close up to see more of the details about this two-page layout. Thank you guys so much for watching this video all the way to the end. Like I said, I hope that this was helpful and informative, and I will see you guys next time for another scrapbook process video. Bye, everybody!